All right. Welcome to another episode of the Company We Keep podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm your host, Jason Pearl. Super excited to be chatting with you again today. This is episode 1 of season 3. We took about an 8-week hiatus and we're back recording and super excited to share some new things with you. So what is the Company We Keep podcast all about? If this is your first time listening, don't worry. You can pick up right here. You can check out the previous seasons at a different time. But the Company We Keep podcast is a podcast for everyday business owners, entrepreneurs, or leaders that want to think differently about growth, think differently about success, and are looking to find better balance in both business and in life. In today's episode, we are going to be laying out what season 3 and beyond can look like with the Company We Keep podcast. As I said, we took a nice little hiatus break. It was nice to recharge, rebuild, put together some new content for all of you, and just get ready for the next season, which will be a lot of fun. In the absence that we've had since recording, there has been a lot happening behind the scenes. We've got a new and improved website, so you can check out jasonmpearl.com at your convenience, and you can see that we have revamped it. There's a new look, and we are looking to provide you all sorts of ways to not only just interact with me, but ways to interact with the content and take the content that we're putting out there so you can go and you can apply it in your everyday life. In addition to that, we have been super active on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where I spend most of my time from a social media standpoint. It's where I, put all my thoughts daily as to different ways that you can improve as a human being first, but as a leader of people, whatever role you're playing right now as a leader of people, that's what we try to help to do. In addition to all of those things, I am wildly excited to share with you all that season 3 is actually going to have a sponsor. John McDonald at Harbor Town Financial Group has graciously offered to sponsor season 3 of the Company We Keep podcast. John and his firm work with individuals, families, and small businesses to build customized financial plans using their holistic approach to help you achieve all of your financial goals. If you want to contact John and his firm, all of the details will be provided on my website, jasonmpearl.com, and in the show notes. There will be links of ways to connect with John and his firm, Harbor Town Financial. But check us out. Big time with a sponsorship for season 3, and we could not be more excited. I personally know John. He is an amazing human being and somebody that I am blessed to call a friend. So you'll likely hear from John later in this season, but Harbor Town Financial Group, we are so proud and excited and grateful that you sponsored season 3. So as we move forward and discuss what season 3 is going to be and how it's going to be laid out, we are going to do a mix of solo episodes with me and guest episodes. This season, what we're going to do is we want to focus some things down. We want to focus on making sure that every time you tune in and you decide to give me 20 to 25 minutes of your personalized, very valuable attention, that we give you something in return that is going to be actionable and attainable when you get done listening to the podcast. That is what this is all about. I really enjoy chatting with you all and sharing my experiences. But the reason that I have this podcast is to make sure that whoever is listening is going to be able to listen to an episode and then have a takeaway. That's the goal, and that's what we're going to do. So I will be bringing some people on, some very specific, hand-selected, crazy talented people that can teach you new things or can give you perspective on certain things that are going to help you succeed in both business and in life. But as we do this, what I want to do is reintroduce what we're trying to do here. And over the course of the past 2 seasons, there has been a lot that I've learned. The first thing I've learned is that you're actually listening. And I am super grateful for that. We have been overwhelmed with the support that this podcast has received, the recognition, the reviews, all of that stuff. but we have heard from you that you are listening. And there's just been an absolute outpouring of support and people that are messaging me, sending me emails saying, hey, listen to X episode, applied it in my life. It's working. Thank you. And encouraging me to continue to record episodes. And I really appreciate that. And please keep the encouragement coming because the encouragement is certainly necessary. And I appreciate that. The lessons that we talked about over the course of the past few seasons, some of which are foundational to my beliefs, and others are things that I think are just practical applications that can help you in your business. Number one of the teachings that I hear a lot of great feedback on is that when I say success is a choice and what that actually means and how success is a choice, it's an individual choice that you make every single day, both in your personal life and your business life to succeed. And I want to continue to hammer on that point that no matter what social media is telling you, no matter what type of guru or guy is talking in the microphone and saying that you should do, the most important thing that you should take away is that everybody is unique and success is a choice. So your path should be built on what you believe success to be. You guys all know for me, family and faith come before everything. That's how I build my success. And this podcast fits right into that. But it's really important for you guys to really focus on that point. We've also talked a lot about progress over perfection and that no matter what, you just got to get started and you got to get things done and you can't focus on it being perfect. Perfect example of that, season 2, right? Let's point the finger at this guy. They got this new beautiful office. As you can see, the supply chain has delivered some things, got some pictures on the wall, got some chairs back there, got some footstools, got some plants, but the audio quality in season 2 was just not up to snuff. It is not something that I think that moving forward will happen again. But we started towards the end of season 2, understand what needed to happen to make the audio high quality in this new office that I have up here on the 3rd floor of my house. I'm a perfect example of progress over perfection. I could have probably scrapped 80% on audio quality of last season's episodes, but we powered through it and we figured it out. The other thing is we talked a lot about the power of saying no. It's important because when you make a decision on something, saying yes to something means that you're saying no to something else. And I got a lot of great feedback on that. The last episode of season 2 was how to keep clients happy. And if you're a business owner that's out there, the cost of trying to find a new client is much greater than the cost of keeping a current client you already have. So if those are things that you haven't heard me say yet, go back to the show notes on my website. You'll be able to find the different episodes that you can listen to. And then finally, my core teaching and my core methodology of who I am as a human being and how I get success out of others is head, heart, and house, right? That 3-step methodology of how to get the most out of yourself and the most out of others, making sure you understand what's happening in your head, what's happening in your heart, what's going on in your household. And that is something that we're going to continue to talk about. There's going to be a significant amount of content that's going to be coming out in season 3, really focusing around those principles and that methodology. So as we move forward, the thing that we want to do in season 3 is really start to niche down a bit. And I know that's a really popular and really common word that everyone likes to use right now, talking about let's niche this, let's niche that. But really what I want to do is, as I said earlier, I want to make sure that when you tune in and you give me that 25 minutes of your super valuable time, that I'm giving something back to you that you can certainly make sure that you can apply in your real life. And that's what we're going to focus on. My career as a professional, I'm the founder and president of Nacre Consulting. Nacre Consulting is a sales and revenue growth-based consultancy where we work with businesses in that $1 million to $25 million space. And we help them increase their sales and the revenue generating activities that they have. And we also work with the leaders of those companies to help them improve their leadership skills and make sure they're getting the most out of themselves and the most out of the teams that they work with. So because of that, I have had some real world, very practical applications of this and what I'm trying to teach in this podcast. And what we want to do is we want to make sure we talk about that. We want to make sure that we give you takeaways that can make you successful both in business and in life. And if you're not a business owner, that's okay. There is still significant value for you listening to this podcast. Because again, helping businesses succeed is what I do. But what I do is I focus on the people in those businesses. And that's the magic juice, right? That's what makes these companies successful. It's not when you focus on just what's in the red and what's in the black when you're looking at your statements and your profit and loss. It's focusing on the human capital, focusing on the people that are in that business and how you get the most out of your people by first trying to get the most out of yourself. So if you're not a business owner, that is okay. Again, do you lead a team? Are you a parent? Are you a coach? Are you a consultant? Are you just looking for ways to be a more effective human being? If you want to scale anything in your life, this is a podcast for you. Don't feel like because we're going to niche down, we're trying to turn our nose up on some of you that may have been listening that aren't business owners. We love having you. We love our loyal listeners. And we think that if you keep listening, you're going to get a lot out of this podcast. Another thing that's really interesting, and I talk about this a lot, is that there is just a significant amount of noise out there, isn't there? I am one of hundreds of thousands of podcasts that are out there, right? So the fact that you're listening now, I am so grateful for, and I don't take that lightly. I know how valuable 25, 30 minutes of uninterrupted time is in my life. And the fact that you're giving me that attention is amazing. And I want you to know I take that so seriously. But what qualifies me to speak on leadership and to speak on growth and to speak to business owners, it's fairly easy. I can give you a data-driven answer. For the past 20 years, I've helped both individuals and businesses get more out of themselves and their teams under my leadership. And I've helped companies in a lot of different ways grow. This isn't a brag session, but this is something that when you are auditing who in your life that you want to listen to, make sure that you're understanding the difference of opinion and fact, right? And I understand that results matter, especially when you're talking to someone or listening to someone that's going to try to give you reasons and strategies and applications to improve yourself, the people around you, and the folks that you're in charge of. I've helped companies scale and grow in many ways, whether it was as an employee or as a business owner through my consultancy. I've received a lot of great feedback, and I have been able to help many different companies grow, whether it's 3xing the top line revenue of a fairly stagnant financial services company, or whether it's taking a company from $4 million to $20 million in 3+ years, whether it's taking a tech company from a small startup to an 8-figure powerhouse in the industry, or whether it's tripling the monthly recurring revenue of a tech startup in less than 18 months. These are just a handful of the results that I've been able to achieve myself and my team with Nacre Consulting. But as a personal individual, these are things that my hands and my fingerprints have been on. So I don't say that to boast, but I do say that because if you're tuning in and you're wondering, like, should I really listen to this guy? There are hard facts that prove that the methodologies that I use work. And my methodologies are not for everybody, and they're not for every business. And I'm aware of that. But if you're a heart-centered entrepreneur or leader that is looking to get the most out of yourself first, so then you can pour into your team and get the most out of your team, this is a podcast for you. These are strategies that you will be able to employ. There are takeaways that you'll be able to use that can make yourself and your life. In saying that, this isn't an I thing. This is a we thing, right? When I have achieved these results with these companies, it's not because I have a silver bullet or a magic wand and I make it happen. I'm very discerning with who I work with, and I choose the human being first and the companies. So I've worked with super talented individuals that have built great teams, and I use my God-given talents to help them grow to the next level. And when you surround yourself with these wonderful companies and these wonderful leaders, and then we get ourselves together to try to grow, that's where the stories, the applications, the strategies, that's where they come in. So that is a reason why listening to me may make sense for you. It may not, but I appreciate you listening. In addition to that, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, right? I've been married for 17 years. I have 2 beautiful daughters. I have traveled basically all over the country. I've moved 7 times in 15 years, worked with a lot of different companies, seen a lot of different things. So I have some significant life experience that I want to transfer from me to you. And in addition to all of that, I am a product of 2 self-employed entrepreneurs that have been hustling and killing it in the entrepreneur game since the early 1970s. And through osmosis and through them being my parents, I have learned a ton from them as well. Just a few checklist items for you. If you want to check that stuff out, you can. But these are the reasons why I feel so motivated to share what I've learned with all of you. So I've seen a thing or two, and I just want to transfer that knowledge. So this season is going to be an absolute blast. I am really excited that you're with us, that you're joining us. Again, if this is your first time listening, what a perfect time to show up. I'd love to direct you back to my website at jasonmpearl.com, where you can see all the other episodes that I've recorded for season 1 and season 2. This is episode 1 of season 3. Again, we're going to do some solo episodes, and we're going to do some other episodes with some of the people in my circle, the company we keep. But would love for you to continue to tune in. Make sure you don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode or never miss any of my content. Go check out that newly revamped website at jasonmpearl.com and just interact with me. Would love to hear from you. Season 3 is going to be a blast. Thanks for joining me. Can't wait for you to tune in next week. All right. This is Jason Pearl. Thanks for keeping me company. I'm out. Peace.